I have a bit more of a question for you because I'm sort of always interested when we have someone with sort of your depth of knowledge and experience here. Um, I'm always interested to get sort of your opinions on the future of radio. I mean, obviously, sort of radio is one of those mediums that will continue to thrive and survive because people have that innate need to have that conversation with the person who's there at the end of the microphone. Along with sort of the content sharing and whatnot, what's your sort of views on the future of radio as a medium?
Yeah, so I'm a huge fan of the intimacy, of the storytelling power, of the curating strength of radio. What we don't what we've made a mistake, I guess, in radio of think of radio as a transmission mechanism rather than as compelling audio content, which we happened to transmit historically using FM or AM or DAB. The content we have is marvelous. The most powerful thing we have is as trusted curators. Apple and Google and Microsoft are spending billions trying to generate technologies to essentially mimic or recreate the skills that we've spent 90 years building up. And so that personality, that curation ability, that trusted source, I think is only going to become more and more powerful. We see quite a lot of people getting social media and news indigestion. There's just so much content out there. We can help them to discover it and to make sense of it. So I believe that audio content, in whatever form it may be, will exist long into the future, and the skills that we have in radio historically will serve us and fit us very well for that purpose. If we don't do it, somebody else will. It might be Beats One or it might be Pandora or somebody. But I believe that if radio has the confidence to rise to the challenge of mastering these new platforms, we don't have to throw away our years of learning. We don't have to disrespect our audience. We don't have to pimp ourselves to some new media destiny.
Right.
We simply have to slightly retool and leverage the capabilities that will be there. I believe radio will be as strong in 90 years, maybe stronger than it is now, but we will face challenges. The connected car, I do a separate talk on connected car and automated cars and things, and so how the self-driving car will affect the way that we consume media in those sorts of spaces. Yeah. So we cannot be complacent that we won't be challenged in our authority or in our dominance in the access to news or the way that we inhabit certain spaces. But we should be confident that we have a very loyal and passionate audience. As 80 to 90% of the populations of the UK and Australia will regularly listen to the radio. That's enormous, and I don't think they're just doing it because they have no other choice. I think they're doing it because they like our curation skills and our personality. And if we continue to bring that in fresh ways that help them to make sense of the rich and diverse media environment that they're going to be inhabiting, I think radio will thrive. And I get particularly excited when I go to conferences like the CBAA. People might think that we get all excited as tool makers and people who work in radio about huge audiences and huge budgets. Nobody is more important to the future of their communities and the future of broadcasting than CBAA members and those who have a genuine community and content around which people will engage strongly. Your content will share particularly well because you're generating things which have a particular community and a particular audience. And it may be smaller than the mass media, but they are far more passionately engaged with it. They will seek it out and they will share it way beyond just today's best hits and whatever classic music formats. So please be confident, particularly as CBAA members, about your communities and your audiences. Use the fact that people may engage around a particular, we deal often with indigenous people and language, we deal often with unusual languages or extremely niche market communities. Online, they can reach beyond the traditional geography of your transmitter. Your regular listeners can continue to engage when they're traveling or at a time of their choosing. Social and video allows that content to be consumed long after the program has finished or the station has closed down for the day and has gone to automation. So if you can get the brilliant content which your communities love and enjoy and reach beyond it to members of that community who may not happen to live within your geographic area or people who may not be able to listen at the time that you're broadcasting, then I think you'll find that it's a brilliant way to augment your station online.